Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Real Estate Confidant. Look, it's early in the morning. Got my little drink. Hope you guys are up and ready to go. You know, it's important for you guys to get up early. Do what you got to do. Get yourself together. Sometimes we lack discipline. Especially if we don't have anybody around us to show us like, hey, you got to get up a little earlier than you normally do to get this work. If you are working two jobs, if you have appointments you have to make, and you still have a 9 to 5, and you have a side business, sometimes it requires you to push yourself harder than you would normally push yourself. I notice a lot of people love going on vacations. They love having barbecues. They love meeting their family and just chilling out and just, wasting time. And hey, it's all great. Don't get me wrong. I love a good barbecue. You understand what I'm saying? I love a good barbecue. There's nothing wrong with that. And I love to go to one. If y'all have one in the spring or summer or something like that, just let me know. I'll be there. Save me a rib or two. But when it comes to doing business, if you're an entrepreneur, especially in the real estate industry, you're gonna have to give up those Sundays to take a couple hours and go show that property, close that deal. And it's important for you to understand that before you even get in the industry. Now, if you're doing investments and stuff and you are buying multifamily properties, that's a whole other ball game. And I'm gonna be honest with you, because when you are dealing with people, see, here it goes again. You guys thought I was playing. Do you hear those sirens outside? This is the only thing I don't like about living in the city, right? Because abruptly there'll be bright lights. Abruptly you will hear sirens, sounds, honks. Like, it'll be quiet for a moment, and then you hear all this craziness. Anyway. So it's very important for you to understand that you have to take the initiative to keep your schedule intact, to do what you have to do, and sacrifice some time. Honestly speaking, you got to sacrifice some time, unfortunately. If you have kids, it's going to be, it might be even more difficult for you, And sometimes you have to take that that time that you normally pamper yourself, that you normally just relax and just don't do anything to get your mind off of the family, and you have to do the work if that's something that you want to do. Some people have the pleasure of not having to do that because their husband or their wife, it's a little different now. The wife sometimes is working and the husband's in the house. Now, I don't condone, that's not something that I do. I don't do that. But if that's your thing, by all means, have fun. But if you are the family where, everybody's working, everybody's contributing, and everybody's out there hustling, getting whatever they got to get done, which is something that happens. It's, something that families have to do. They all have to buckle down sometime, especially now in this recession. You understand what I'm saying? And so just be mindful of that when you putting things in a perspective. Now, a lot of times I talk about multifamily properties. I talk about building a nest egg, about building real estate, and being able to transition that real estate into your child's life when they become adults, or even afterward, when they have kids of their own. But understand that if you own businesses, if you own real estate, which I always suggest that you open up an LLC and an S corporation. If you are purchasing multifamily properties, then you have to understand you have to run these things like it's a business. You have to run. You can't just willy-nilly this thing. I met through my real estate sales experience in my life. I've met some beautiful people. One of which is a young lady who has a family. But she has several properties in Harlem and Connecticut and various other places. And I was able to help her out with a couple of properties in Harlem as far as rentals. Unfortunately, the sales, when she went to sell her brownstone, I wasn't around. I had moved to Florida for a little bit, had my own thing going on, which is a whole other story. But when I came back and I recouped the conversation, she explained to me that she had sold her brownstone. I believe it was for $1.4 million. No, it was a little over $3 million. Look, that's an experience that you guys can learn from. So, just make sure you keep in contact with your people, be genuine, because this is how her and I, basically became colleagues, friends, because I was genuine with her on a specific rental, and she got the inside scoop, and it helped her out very much. And she came back to me and she showed her appreciation. And then after a while, she introduced me to her family. I give little holiday gifts, little cards here and there, and so on and so forth. But the point is you have to keep your life scheduled a certain way. You can't just be out here having a good time like you just work a 9 to 5 and you go home and that's it. People, listen to me, all right? Especially the older ones. If you have not saved for your future, for when you are unable to work anymore, you need to do that. Or, have investments or something that'll be able to bring in revenue throughout your life. Right? So I say this. If you could buy multifamily properties, get about 52 properties, right? 52 units. It doesn't even have to be 52 properties, but 52 units. And then also get some land. And the reason why I say get some land, even though you be paying taxes on it every year, right? Get some land. One, you could build on that land. Hold the land for a year before you start building, if that's what you want to do. For tax purposes. I'm not a tax provider, but I just know how the process works. Two, you want to use that land for food. So if things go downhill, whatever the hell it happens, right? And you're sitting there, you relaxing, you got your 52 properties, if you smoke cigars or drink coffee, whatever you do, listen to jazz, whatever you do, and you just chilling out and someone on the news says, everything goes wrong. Guess what? As long as you have seeds, you could grow your own food. You could sell the food to individuals after grown. And then people will be reliant on you. Remember, trees make toilet paper and trees also make food. Remember that, okay? So you just keep that in mind when you are putting this stuff together. So it's important. Do not be lazy, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta get it together. I'm on LinkedIn, guys. So if you guys are on LinkedIn, go ahead and follow me. Instagram, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Please do. It's free. It's free. But look, if you take the initiative, you'll be better off than if you don't. Okay? Even if it's slow baby steps, little steps here and there, you'll be okay. Baby steps works, right? Baby steps work and whatnot. You understand what I'm saying? Get baby steps together. Now, it took me a while to start waking up at 3:30 in the morning. I'm a fan of Eric Thomas, E.T., the hip hop preacher. What's up? Not Martin, but E.T. And, he always said that he wakes up early. he wakes up early, and he's like, I wake up early, I get it before anybody else and all that good stuff. I'm like, now how is this guy waking up so early? What in the hell is going on? And so I start sifting through his videos. I'm watching every video back to back. I'm like, I know he says something about how he does this. And I finally found the video. I'm not going to tell you how long it took, but I finally found the video where he tells me. And it says that it's not about the time that you go to sleep. It's about the time. No, it's not about the time that you wake up. It's about the time that you go to sleep. So he doesn't do it often, but sometimes he, sometimes from what I watch, sometimes what he does is he'll go to sleep at 8:30, 9:30, or get himself ready for bed at 8:30, going on 9:30, when most people are still up, hanging out, watching shows or whatever, right? And then he ends up waking up between 2:30 and 3:30 in the morning. And now he's ahead of the game, and he gets all this stuff done. He sends his videos out, does everything he needs to do at that time. Okay? So, and then sometimes he stays up later, but he still ends up waking up early, 3:30 in the morning, 3:34. Why? Because it's a habit. It's a habit now, right? It's a process. It's a habit. And then if he's doing flights internationally, guess what? He then still, because it's a habit, he's still waking up at 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the morning, right? So habits, make sense. Just do it, right? Take your time. It's okay. But if you guys are deciding to build wealth, get your multifamily units, it's important for you guys to take that into account. Okay, really take that into initiative, ladies and gentlemen. It is early right now, and as you can see out the window, the sun is coming up. So this is the time that I have to talk to you all. This is the time that I really get my thoughts together, put things together, and honestly, it's an amazing feeling to be able to do. I don't know if you guys had that grandparent growing up that used to wake up early all the time, just about, except for maybe the weekends. I did. So I had my grandmother and grandfather would get up between 3:30 and 4:30 in the morning, every morning. And I didn't understand. They didn't trip out about me, waking up and not waking up. But from time to time, my grandmother would wake me up and say, "Come on, boy, you coming with me." I'm like, well, where are we going? And she says, I'm gonna teach you how to write a check. I'm gonna teach you how to pay a bill. I'm gonna teach you how to wash clothes. I'm gonna teach you how to wash a dish, clean the house. This way you don't have to rely on anybody else to do it for you. I'm gonna teach you how to build a business. Okay? And you do it in this way because guess what? You are your own boss. Right? Every one of us has God in us, but every one of us has to work. Faith without works is dead, right? So you gotta maneuver, you gotta push through, you gotta get this thing going. You get this thing going, you good to go, baby. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, telling you. So think about it, vision what it is that you want. If your goal is to get real estate, it's to build equity, right? Maybe your goal is to make $2,000 a month on your first property. Maybe you get your first 2 to 4 unit property in a storefront, and guess what? Maybe that's all you want, right? You get a 4 unit in a storefront, and each unit is paying you $1,500 to $2,000 a month, maybe less than that. Sometimes you want to be generous, right? And then you got a storefront downstairs that you could turn into a newspaper stand, little candy store, newspaper stand, Or, you could rent it out to somebody for their business. Now you bringing money into the community, ladies and gentlemen, right? And guess what? If you decide that you don't want to work for your company, the company you work for no anymore, guess what? You could be the owner of the storefront. Now, one of the pain points that I have living out here is there's not that many where I'm at. There's not that many newspaper stands or coffee stands no more. Those stands that are sitting out, that are out in the front, that are out in the street in Manhattan. Most of the times, all they have is candy now. Candy and a couple of little magazines and stuff. But they really don't have the newspaper that we looking for. That blue cup coffee that we looking for. Most of them don't. It's not like it used to be, right? New York Times, Wall Street Journal, all that stuff. So if you open up a storefront and you put that out there, and that's something that the community is craving for, is needing, they're going to come to you every day. Honey buns. You throw them honey buns out there, not saying it's good for you, but it tastes good when you eat it, right? You throw them honey buns out there, good to go, right? Honey buns, coffee, light and sweet, black, however people want it, People move into this country to do stuff like that. Look into your neighborhood. I want you to find out who owns, if you rent a property in a building, find out who owns the building. Ask the super who owns the building. Because 9 times out of 10, it's not the super. Right? Or 2, find out who owns the corner store. The store that's in your neighborhood that you go to regularly since you've been born, and you're comfortable with going there because it's the same people that you've seen since you were little, right? But you don't really know. You've never asked yourself, well, who owns this store? Do they own it? Are they renting it? Let me go down the block. Let me check the other store. Who owns this store? Wait a minute. I don't see any people of color owning these corner stores. Wait a minute. And now, granted, don't get me wrong. I don't have a problem with anybody other than, so anybody going to corner store. I'm proud of y'all. Congratulations. But from the perspective of individuals living in the city, individuals that are not aware of how this process works, this business process works, this is important for them to understand. Because I was one of those kids growing up in the neighborhood that where it didn't even dawn on me that the various individuals that own the corner stores, that own the clubs, that own these restaurants in the city, they weren't even born in this country. Right? Now they made a chess move. They did business moves now. Don't get me wrong. They did business moves. Right? They did business moves. It made sense. And they still doing business moves. They're finagling the system. It's not wrong. You want to finagle the system, how you finagle it, fine. You want to take that risk and then have to deal with, you know who? That's on you, but it won't be on us, right? At the same time, just be mindful of the game. The game is made to be played. And most of y'all don't have the rules of the game to play it. And this is why I'm here. So y'all got to get yourselves up and get it together. I'm telling you. Go get those 52 units. Go get that storefront. Go get that storefront. And if you need help doing it, let me know. Okay? Anyway, that's going to be my time for the day. I'll talk to you all later. Y'all have an amazing day. People, like and subscribe. Please, don't cut it off till you subscribe, baby. Subscribe. Y'all know how this works. All right? I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good day. Peace.